And now we will have a good view of how this looks. Yeah. The thing is live. Let me see. Yes, connection also good. Okay, knight is there. Knight to d5. I'm putting pressure. Now, now this is the blunder, right? This one is a blunder. So we have to move like this. Let's just kick this away. I don't know what we are doing here. So let me just kick you away first. And what are my future plans? Let me just have some priorities straighten out. Okay, I have to also do my daily check-in. I will do that. I will do that. We don't want him to escape. And okay, here, then push, push, push. Okay, pawn is pinned, so I cannot push that pawn. Okay. This one is also playable. Now there is no check coming. Okay, king is on h1. This one is the check. And I'll give you one more check. Now the bishop captures. I'll pin this. Now he can give me a check like that. That's okay. And it's a checkmate. Oh, holy moly. I got checkmated like that. Okay, that's okay. Anyways, our target is to finish into top 5 of this early tournament. I don't know what was this. C4. Let's spin this one. We have to knight c6 with pressure over here. If we go g3. Let me see, let me see. It's trying to eliminate this knight, so after the queen moves to f6, this pawn will be left hanging. And that's what it's trying to do. Two attackers. It's a mistake, right? This one is a clear mistake. Yeah, let's go for the exchange. Knight takes d2 check is a threat. If he moves the pawn, then knight to f3 check is a threat, and then queen slides to f6, returning a checkmate on h2 like that. Okay, he does that. Let me first activate the rook. You can move the queen over here. That's okay. But then I'll just pin it. Let me just first defend it. Let's go here. Pattern checkmate. You should always consider the possibility of delivering a checkmate whenever you see one. Sacrificing the bishop looks good over here. If he pushes the pawn, sacrifice it, pawn takes, knight takes. Yeah. I don't know whether this is the best continuation or not, but I had to have to confirm. Let me go all in. I don't want any sorts of backrank treatments. If I go queen to h1, he has to play a move like king g4. Then after h5 check, I'm able to defend against all sorts of back rank. If he goes king to g5, then how about queen d5? After which the loves of Oi! I blundered my queen. I just blundered it. I blundered it, and I don't think there is any compensation possible for that. Mhm. Anyways, why isn't my stream going online? I'm not playing good, and that's okay. Was distracted eating an apple. Let's look for close Sicilian. Yeah, maybe now that I have the energy, I can do something. Should I get the complete control of the center? Yeah. Just chill, chill, just chill. Just chill, chill, just chill. Sonia, if he plays F5, I have to do and pass. It's by default. Jim, Ma, wait, Jim, I think I should have gone for the break. Dambe Sudan. My D5 was lethal. I missed it. That's okay. I needed more time, like playing Super Blades and creating ideas doesn't work for me. I'm kind of slow. I need some more time to settle. But the main concern is my stream is not showing. The last stream is this channel is there and it is clearly visible that I'm streaming. This channel is there and it is clearly visible that I'm streaming. Oh, yes. There is one guy who watches me, that's my friend Atharva. Again, you lost me time, yes. Now his center is big. And that was the bishop. Let's go like this. What can be done to break here? I don't want him to have such a strong center, you see. Also, we advance. My king side is safe. But the A2 pawn is falling. You got to be careful about the A2 pawn, right? Let me place the queen in my king's camp only. This was again a bad inside weakness. That was a mating one. Anyways, I'm playing bad, so what do I need to do in the remaining time? Okay, here. Let me just do the polish. Not the close again, open this again, and do a plan. Let's just learn something, okay? Let's do some practice of this technique known as decoy. There is deflection, under promotion, squares. I can't seem to find any decoy tactics here. Clearance is there, counter check is there, but there is no decoy. Okay, so let's do one thing. Let's go to studies, and there must be some there must be some good study on decoy by Jomega. Yes, Jomega makes the good studies. And in the study, I will walk through doing deliberate practice exercise for decoy tactic. Okay, since there is currently now let's practice for this. Okay, these examples. This game is from Reti versus Startup 1910 Vena. The position is canonical example of decoying the black king. So you are decoying. Decoying means what you decoy the black king to a certain position. It is not where you want it to be, but you will give some sacrifice. So you achieve the goal of bringing the king where it has to be. And then once it is there, you can just give a double check. The king has to run away. Okay, double check is a really powerful tactic. When you give it, the king cannot block it. The king cannot capture both the pieces at the same time. It has to run away. And then bishop to d8 is checkmate. So in the initial position, did you see that you wanted the king on d8 where it would be subjected to the discovered check. This is a key idea in considering the queen sacrifice. Of course, looking at all your checks would give queen to d8 as a candidate move, but it might be rejected out of hand because it loses the queen. If you have trouble visualizing the follow-up after queen d8, okay, I have no trouble. So let's go to next chapter. Now you have to decoy a pawn. Okay, so like see, you have to decoy a pawn means that the pawn is not where you want to be. The pawn needs to be directed to some different position, and that's what we are going to do. So in this position, the bishop on d3 is attacking that 7 pawn. If you play queen to f5, then there is a checkmate threat. Okay, so you are threatening a checkmate, and this g6 move is the pawn decoy. Black might also play rook to e4. Okay, rook to e4, but then after bishop takes e4, d takes e4, rook f to e1, white ahead in material. Okay, so that's why the pawn is decoyed and now you can capture the bishop. So correct, white has won a piece as Servan and Silman say. In general, any move that threatens checkmate is worth considering. And if you are lucky enough to have more than one move, be sure you choose the best of the lot. Okay, we'll keep that in mind. So I would call this position an example of a deflection or overloaded piece. Regardless, what should white play? So is it deflection? Is it overloaded piece? We will have to notice. So the knight on c6 looks like a overloaded piece. Okay, what is this doing? It is protecting the bishop on e7. At the same time, it is acting as a barrier between this battery of rooks on the c file. So if you sacrifice an exchange first, then you are deflecting the guard. Okay, this rook is the guard for this pawn. So now this guard is eliminated. So now you can go for rook takes c7. Correct. The authors comment that white has gained a 1 point advantage. Others might say that white has gained 2 pieces for a rook. In the initial position, did you see that the c7 rook was involved in the attack and defense? Okay, so the rook on c7 was overloaded. The rook has to defend the knight and the bishop. Okay. And this is another way of seeing that this rook was overloaded. Are you comfortable with the idea of losing a rook for 2 pieces? If not, ask your mentor for some guidance on why that is correct here. Okay, we will have next chapter now multiple tactics. White has multiple winning methods here, but one ends the game in hurry. What is White's best move? Like it's simple. You just see. You notice there is a checkmate threat on g7. So if you give a pin like this, then the queen cannot go to f6 and capture our hanging queen, so it has to capture the rook, or maybe the rook has to capture the rook. And then again, you are going to deflect this queen because you are also pinning it, so that's why. So this is a good move. The correct move forces a mate into. This is threatening queen takes f8, rook takes f8, queen g7 checkmate. Okay, thanks to the pin on black's queen. Now after rook takes e8, we have rook takes d8, we have rook takes d8. Again, white settles the same, two mates as before. With the queen capture, then queen to g7. Correct. The move white has wanted to play since the start. In the initial position, did you see the idea of queen to g7 mate? That is the key to thinking about getting black's queen to move. Okay. Now let's have some more decoy tactics. Decoying under a pin. Okay, so that was a good tactic which we covered. Now decoying under pin. This is having 2 likes, 1 like, 1 like. Maybe a lot of people aren't following the decoy tactics. Okay, there is a lot of likes here. Maxim block distraction is here. Then decoy and deflection. E8 pawn, decoy and deflection. Can we do this? Who is protecting the queen? The rook. Okay, so you are going to deflect the rook. So this is deflection. And the rook takes d8 move is played. Now queen takes c5 is there on the board. The next chapter. Not every bait is taken. What would you play in this position? Of course, rook to d8. And then after this move, can you first capture the queen? Then when the rook captures, there is a hanging rook on a8. Yes. Yeah. Congratulations, you completed these lessons. Thank you. Let's move ahead. So what would you play in this position? We have to deflect this king from guarding the queen. Bishop takes f7, king takes f7, queen to d8. Yes. We have next lesson. Now in this position, we can go to f6 and threaten a checkmate, but there is a knight on d7 who is controlling f6. Now, how are you going to decoy? How are you going to deflect this knight? Knight to g6. Sorry, knight to b6. Knight to b6 is a good move. After knight takes b6, queen to f6 is possible. And the checkmate is unstoppable now. Yeah. So again, this was the example of deflection. Who shall be the next queen? So this pawn can promote like this. And this pawn will promote with a check, and then you will capture it, and then you will. So do one thing, capture the pawn. What would you play in this position? Okay, okay. So the thing here is that it's white to play. No, no, no. That was mistake. Not now. Here, if I go here, what would you play in this position? So first you give a check with a promotion, then the king captures, then you again you promote. Okay, and now all you have to do is bring this rook over here. Now I made sure that black will not make his pawn a queen. What would you play in this position? Prepare for the fork. Okay, prepare for the fork. How are you going to prepare for the fork? Rook takes c8, queen takes c8, knight to e7 is fork. Yeah, and now this is winning. Okay, you completed this lesson. Now let's have one more time. So this is the square rule. Okay, now this king is in the square. Now if this pawn move ahead, then now notice if you push this pawn, you have to remember the square rule always. This is the square. Okay, if you push this pawn, the king will capture, and when you push the pawn again, this would be the square, and when you push the pawn again, then the king can come here and it's in time to stop. So if you push, he takes, then this promotes. But if you push and he comes here, then if you push here and he takes. Okay, if you push, he comes here. You push here. This is good. Now this pawn is unstoppable. Yeah. Now in this position, what would you play in this position? Of course, this one. And then when he goes here, I'm gonna push this. He's gonna take it, and this one is promoting now. Yeah. Who is stopping my promotion? So this is the first rank the pawn can promote over here. This is the pin. So what can I do to get rid of that? I can do one thing. I can play queen to b1 check, and when queen take b1 is played, then I'm going to skewer the king and queen on the b file. So this is the best move. Yeah, and that's what I achieve after this. So this was only deflection. I don't see any decoy here. I want decoy. How can you decoy? Decoying under pin. Decoying under pin. What would you play in this position? So the king is not where you want it to be, so you have to decoy the king. But let's just coordinate two pieces here. Queen to e4 looks amazing. It is attacking the rook, it is attacking the bishop. But then the rook comes to e8, and now you can play bishop to c3. You are pinning this bishop to the rook, and also you are pinning this bishop to the queen. So queen e4 looks good, but it's a bad move. Now if you play rook takes e5 immediately, after queen takes e5, bishop c3, and if rook c8 is paired, then you are going to capture the check. So that was the decoy. Okay. Now we have one more here. Now in this position, um, if I take and he takes with the rook, then queen to a8, and um, what is happening here? What would you play in this position? This looks a nice puzzle. Okay, find the best move for white. Find the best move for white. If you play rook takes d7, then rook takes d7, or that rook is pinned, queen to. What can you do here? If bishop takes d7, rook takes d7, queen to e8, then even the rook can go back to d8 and the knight can go back to d8 and prevent against the check. Yes, we are having a rook, but that rook is attacking and queen is attacking. There are two defenders more than two. There are like three, knight, queen, and the king. So what would you play in this position? Now, if I sacrifice my bishop by playing the move like bishop g5, then knight can capture it. Or if the queen captures it, if I play a move like bishop to c5, then the knight captures and d7 is guarded. Bishop c5, bishop d5, bishop takes d7, bishop takes d7. We will have rook takes d7, queen to a8 check. The bishop is no longer there. So I have like bishop g5, queen takes g5. If queen takes g5 is played, then bishop takes d7 is a check. Then king can even come to um, e7. Um, then maybe I can play queen to e3 check. And the bishop is controlling e8, e6, queen is controlling e7, pawn is controlling f6 and d6. Besides the king is also under attack. And now after bg5, queen takes g5, bishop takes d7, rook takes d7, queen to e8 check, rook goes back to d8, and then queen f6, queen c6 check, rook to d7, queen takes d7 is there. So this was the second time. If after bg5, knight takes g5, knight takes g5, bishop takes d7, rook takes d7, queen a8, rook d8, queen a8, rook d8, queen c6, queen d7. And the rook on d1, and if he goes rook go back to d8, rook back to d7, then rook back to d7, then queen take d7, then queen take d7, and I don't like this bg5, knight d5, bd7, rook d7, queen a8, rook d8, queen a8, rook d8, and queen c6, rook d7. I can go for a. But let's try bishop g5. Yeah, it's a wrong move. It's a wrong move. So what can be played here? Bishop takes d7. Again, it's a wrong move. Rook takes d7. Oh, rook takes d7 is a good move. I don't know why. Because we can have the other rook come to d1 now. Okay. So all those calculations, but none of them in the good direction. What would you play in this position? I would first do a double attack and then I would pin this rook. Now what would you play in this position? I would first go for push, push, check. This is bullshit, right? Dumb ways to die. तुझे देखना तूफान, तुझे देख कर न जगना, मैंने जिंदगानी संग तेरा बिताई. Now I'm going to pin the rook on c4, c4, yes, c4, a, c, e, g. Odd squares dark, even squares light. No, no, not this. Attack the pinned piece. That's what I teach the kids. And that's what I'm not able to remember by myself. What a shame. Takes, 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 takes. You cannot come here. Rook takes f6 is a good move. Queen takes f6, pawn to d6 check. King cannot go into e6. Let's have one more, one more, one more, one more, one more, one more. If you take with the queen, and then the bishop pins the queen, and then you capture the bishop is pinning the queen, so rook cannot capture, it can only capture on bishop. In this position, if I capture, like this pawn is promoting over here, right? Now, if I give a check, I'm going to stop this, and I'm going to pick this pawn, and this pawn can be, yeah. But I'm playing as white. I'm playing as white. Oh, I'm white to play. So if I'm white to play, and if I first capture this, and then he goes here, then I go. If I promote, he comes to the check. If I promote, I promote, I captures, and then he captures the pawn. So if I first push the pawn, he captures it there. And if I capture here, he comes over here. Then I push, king comes, push, king comes, push, king comes, push, takes, push, and the king will come over here. So if I come, he takes. If I promote, he comes, I take, he takes, I take. He captures this one. I start going here. He comes here. I go here. He comes there. I go here. This pawn is well protected like this. So if I promote, what for me, if I take, he goes here. I go here. Sorry, if I first take and he comes here, with C6. I go to D6. He goes to E8. I go to C7. Uh, captures the pawn. I go to D8. He goes there, and he allows me to capture the bishop, but then this pawn is able to promote in the long run. What can be done here? Promotion is a bad idea. If I push the pawn to E4, bishop takes E4 will be played. This is bad. This is bad. This is good. How is this good? How is this different? Now what? Now, oh, now the queen is spinning the pawn. Oh, that's why. Oh, I missed that. Anyways,